Good morning, my dear mom and sirs. I would like to share with you this presentation regarding the different concepts of good governance. So our course is all about governance in peace and development, and this will be your one of the major subjects in your course as peace and development major. So I am your friend and brother Joe R. Salfarez of the Order of the Discalced Carmelite Secular. So we move on. By the way, this presentation, these slides is borrowed from Dr. Hagos during his talk regarding the governance. So our learning outcomes of this unit about the concepts of governance is you have to explain the concepts and significance of governance, explain the evolution of the concepts of governance, then describe the major pillars of good governance, then explains the challenges of governance, explain the costs or bad and benefits or good of good governance, then analyze the existing governance structure, especially in our country, the Philippines, or even the other countries. So the question, why we should properly understand governance? What do you think? I think with your experience, with our experience, you have a lot of answers about this. Why we should have properly understood the so-called governance. Then nowadays, governance occupies a central stage in the development discourse. So it talks about also developments. Then governance is considered as an crucial element to be incorporated in the development strategy. So talking about governance, especially our experience, so this is also in relation of development. Then governance symbolizes the paradigm shift of the role of the government, Then governance is not only about the organ or actors, most importantly, it is about the quality of governance. Then it has become a truism to say that good governance is essential for a successful development. Then governance means in a different thing, in a different people. That's why you, men and women in uniform, you have also your own idea. When you talk about governance, when you talk about good governance, it depends on the situation. It depends also to the experience or our experience in every sector, in every maybe ministry or in every offices that we experience. Then why should we worry about good governance now, especially in our country, the Philippines? What do you think? If you will be asked this question, why worry about good governance? Here in our vicinity, especially in the new government, the BARM, they parang pinataasan. Instead of good governance, it should be moral governance. But still on the process in this moral governance. But one good thing, when we talk about governance, we have to talk first good governance before transcending to the moral governance. Then we should worry about good governance now because the first reason good governance is vital now because of the turbulent environment, interconnected, complex, and fast-moving in which we find ourselves, especially now. In our country, we are third world country, but because of that interconnectedness, dapat kailangan na rin na gawin natin itong good governance. Kasi sabi nga ng future commander-in-chief natin, anong sinasabi? I don't like this country kasi maraming corrupt, maraming mga adik. So that's part siguro na nagawa niya when they talk about good governance. Kaya nga maraming siyang mga supporter until today. So it's vital now. Turbulent environment, interconnectedness, especially not only in the Philippines but to the other countries. Then second reason why we worry about governance is we are increasingly living in the imperfect world. Increasingly living in an imperfect world. And of course, kailangan talaga And we all know that one. Then the third, because of this globalization, when I talk about globalization, there are pros and cons, the advantages as well as the disadvantages. That is asymmetric or regular globalization, where information and market have globalized, but democracy has not. So that's the problem now. So one of the advantages of this globalization, like the world trade, the communication, before akala natin ang layo-layo na ibang lugar. But because of globalization, the world is now shrinking and paliit na paliit ang mundo. Is that good or bad? So, kaya nga may pros and cons. Kaya nga we need good governance. Then the fourth reason, why worry? Because good governance is made up of complex relationship of the three stool, the public sector, the private, the three actors, the private, the public, as well as the civil society. Ito yung mga legs, ito yung the pillar of good governance. So ito yung kailangan din natin na dapat tayong mag-worry. Okay? Kaya nga here, when we talk about peace in Mindanao, kailangan talaga itong gagawin natin itong good governance. Then the last reason, governance cuts across all phases of the human life. Wherever you are, kahit ano man, nandyan talaga yun, yung tinasabi nating governance. In our family, it will start to the family. Then, it will radiate to the community and of course to the whole world. That's why there is a need for us to worry when we talk about governance. Then what about this governance? Sabi ko, depende sa sitwasyon, depende sa naranasan natin. Kaya nga, there is no consensus definition, but from the authors, meron silang naibigay. So the idea of governance came into the picture in the development programs of major donors and international financial institutions following the Cold War period. So ito yung na-come up. Okay? So this is not mean that the concept of governance is new. It is an old as human civilization. So matagal na ito. Kung anong nangyari noon, when they talk about governance, talk about development, so at least siguro nagle-level up na ngayon in our generation. But sabi nga, it is as old as human civilization. Okay? Then the concept of governance have been defined in the different scholars, institution, different contexts. According to World Bank, take note, governance refers to the manner of which power exercised in the management of the country's economic and social resources. So that's coming from the World Bank. Management of the country's economic and social resources. So kaya nga, ang halaga itong governance. So remember the Sub-Sahara, naging ano tayo in the world publication, the Sub-Sahara Africa, na binansagan tayong Mindanao ni Richard. Remember? Sabi nga, from the crisis to sustainable 1999. Anong sabi ng World Bank from the Sub-Saharan Africa? Failure of public institutions cited as reason for the weak performance. Then the term governance first used to describe the need of institutional reform and a better or more efficient public sector in the sub-Saharan countries. When we talk about sub-Saharan countries, ito yung mga pobre na mga lugar. Kaya nga, the Mindanao ay nabansagan tayo, nag-trending yun, na parang we are like Africa. Kaya nga, medyo na-challenge doon tayong taga Mindanao. Pero that's according to the World Bank publication when they talk about governance. Then, governance also defined as an exercise of political power to manage a nation's affairs. An exercise of political power to manage the nation's affairs. Kaya nga, hanggang ngayon, nowadays, hindi natin makalimutan the former President Duterte. Talagang ang galing niya, ang pamumuno niya. Kaya nga, yung iba hindi na rin nag-isip. Kahit ano na lang gawin, Kaya nga tayo as peace educator, as peace advocate, we have to balance the scenario. Hindi lang may kikilingan tayo. That's the point there. Okay? Kung may corruption man, harapin din nila. Especially now, in our issue with the daughter, our vice president. Kung malinis man, so harapin. Huwag pagtakpan. I think malinaw yan when we talk about governance. An exercise of political power to manage a nation's affair. That's part of it. Kaya nga, hindi man tayo mga lawyers, but as peace educator, we have to know, we have to balance. Kung may katotohanan, well and good. Kung wala, ma-acquaint man yan. Pero bakit pipigilan? Nakuha natin. So, Africa requires not just less government, but better government. Do you agree? Yes, we all know. Third world country, the sub-Saharan, talagang mahirap sila. Kung tutusin, third world man din tayo dito sa Philippines. Pero nakikita ko sa iba, talagang mas grabe ang kahirapan, poverty, hunger, and everything. Corruption, nandoon na. Sa atin, makikita man natin, but I would not say na talagang mas malala. Pero ito yung definition coming from the publication, World Bank publication in the sub-Saharan Africa. Then, what about this one? Government or governance is a method through which power is exercised in the management of countries' political, economic, and social resources of development. That's from the World Bank. Then from the Asian Bank, Asian Development Bank, they have also the definition. It is a manner in which power is exercised in the management of the country's social, economic resources for development. So from the Canada Institute of Governance, they have also a definition. Is a process. A government is a process whereby societies or organizations make important decisions, determine whom they involve and how they render accounts. So these are other definitions coming from the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, as well as the Canadian Institute of Governance. So therefore, governance is the exercise of the economic, political, social capability to manage countries' affairs of all levels. It compromises the processes and the institution through which the citizen can articulate their interests, exercise their legal rights, meet their obligations, and mandate their differences. That's also according to UNDP. So now you know that there are a lot of definitions. By the way, you can research on this for your additional information. The different definition of the governance coming from World Bank, Asian Development Bank, Canada Institute of Governance, as well as the United Nations Development, the UNDP. According to UNDP, exercising economic, political, and administrative authority to manage countries' affairs in all levels. In all levels. Okay? Malinaw siguro yan. Then the concept of governance is understood by many other institutions. The use of political accountability, the exercise of and control of the process of managing resources in bringing social and economic developments. Kaya nga, when we talk about governance, palagi talagang nakasama yung development, the peace and development. Kaya nga, ito yung ating one of the major subjects in our course, in your Master of Arts major in Peace and Development. I think that's clear. There are a lot of definition. Then it also refers to the way and process of decision-making and the process by which the decisions are implemented or not implemented. The decisions are implemented or not implemented. So this is a way or a process of decision-making. Di ba maganda? Kailangan talaga itong governance na ito. Then it is also the way organizations are directed and controlled to ensure that they are effective in achieving their objectives. Wow! Kaya nga, if you notice, when you talk about the private institution, the public institution, talagang may kaibahan. And you can notice that one. in the schools, in the other companies. Kaya nga masasabi natin, bakit ang ganda-ganda ito? Kasi private. Ibig sabihin that governance na-apply talaga nila. Okay? Kasi sa gobyerno, ganun talaga yon. Pero hindi natin linalahat na sector in the government, ha? Ang dami. Kaya nga, tayo may mga study man din, the most corrupt institutions or agencies in the Philippines, nakahilera yun. Alam natin yun, based from the survey, based from the study. Hindi yan gawa-gawa, study talaga yan, research talaga yan. Kaya nga, one of which is the Department of Education. So ngayon, pagpalagay natin na politicize, na isahan, so ngayon lumalabas na si Piatos, Grace Piatos, si Camote, and the rest na hindi naman nag-i-exist. So yun yung dapat nating titingnan para ma-apply natin tong tinatawag nating governance, accountability, economic, political, social, and the rest. I think malinaw yan sa atin mga ma'am at saka mga sirs. Then there are three actors. Take note of these three actors when we talk about governance: the state, the civil society, and the market. When they talk about these actors, sabi nga, the state creating a favorable political, legal, and economic development. Okay? Favorable political, legal, and economic development. Yun yung trabaho ng unang actor, ang the Estado, the state. Then the civil society, tayo yon, the people. Mobilizing people's participation. Ulitin ko, the civil society, tayo yon. Okay? Mobilizing people's participation. Then the market. Alam natin to. Creating opportunities for people. If you look at this diagram, yung the Venn diagram, tawag nito, they are interrelated, they are interconnected. Ibig sabihin, they cannot be separated with each other. Kaya nga kung makita natin yan, sa gitna, may space dyan. Maybe for development, for improvement. So, once again, take note ha, the three key actors, baka lalabas to sa ating compress, sa ating mga examination, the state, creating favor political and economic development, tayo, the people, the civil society, and of course, the market, the trade, in which dapat, pag gusto ng development, mobilize people, then let them give an opportunity, look for a job for them, para lahat happy. So, trabaho din yan ng Estado. Okay? Pero, if you observe now, may problema, puro lang tayo ayuda. For peace, dito sa bar, puro ayuda. Wala tayong nakikita na talagang tangible na development na lahat na kinabang. Dito nga sa city, happy tayo lahat. May private na pumunta, the KCC. Wow, mayaman palang Cotabato, punong-puno lagi until today. Pero, well, ulitin ko, the key actors, they have to go hand in hand. Dapat lahat, when they talk about development, lahat na de-develop din. State, civil society, and the market. Hindi na sana yun, mawala na yung gap between the rich and the poor. Kaya nga sinabi, the poor become poorer and the rich become richer. So, yun yung mga sinasabi. Pero when we talk about this governance, sana lahat happy sa lahat na de-develop. Okay? Ni uswag ang ilang kinabuhi, ang atong kinabuhi. So, yun yung punto dyan. Okay? Then what is the difference between government and the governance? I think in your own, if you'll ask you, if it is face-to-face, alam na alam niyo ito, the difference between the two. Okay? But for the sake of argument, tuloy natin ito. The government refers to the persons, officials, managers, the experts, civil servants in all public, private, and civil societies. Kaya nga, dito sa Pilipinas, mayroon tayong 3 branches of the government. Alam natin yon. Ano yun? Executive, legislative, tsaka judiciary. Dapat independent yan, pero labo-labo. Kaya nga, when we talk about peace, sabi na natin in our previous discussion, nagkabulabog tuloy. So, that's the problem there. Okay? So, we know what is government. Actors in all governance which compromises constructions, constitutions, other laws and institutions, structures, management, mechanism, and administrative processes. Yun yung government. At alam natin yun. What about governance? At sa sinabi, marami nating definition na sinasabi, all accumulated practices of behavior, skills, and attitude of the government as seen in the manner they create different instruments and tools, they use the different instruments and tools. There is a creation and there is also the use na ginagamit yon. So ito yung governance. Kaya kapapasok na the persons in itself, kung paano pinalakad yung kanyang institution. Kaya nga tayo lahat, tayo leaders. Kaya nga I really salute you na naging bahagi ako sa buhay ninyo. May mga general akong estudyante, kayo maraming colonel sa inyo, the major and the rest. So ibig sabihin, we are all leaders. Okay? Kahit na yung the non-uniform personnel, you are all leaders in your sector or if not in your community. Kaya we have to apply this one. Okay? This is a challenge to all of us. Then, in carrying out governance duties, patterns of the government reflect in all the forms and style, the systems, the methods, and the procedures. So that's all about governance. Then, shortly put, governance refers to the manners and ways managing the relations and interactions between the government and the society. So once again, refers to the manners of the ways and managing the relations and interactions between the government and the society. That's governance. Then, as long as governance is directly related to the behavior, skills, and attitude of persons that run of the government, it can be practiced correctly or wrongly. So kaya nga, nasa sa tao talaga. It can be practiced correctly or wrongly. This takes us to the qualities of governance, either good or bad. And I think, with our experience, alam natin na there are good or bad qualities of governance. Then what about this good governance and the qualities? Then when we talk about the qualities of governance, based on the different practical parameters, governance can be classified as good or bad. Take note, ha? Governance can be classified as good or bad or poor governance. When I talk about good governance, is a concept on which major donors and international financial institutions are increasingly basing their aid and loans. So that's part of the good governance. Then it also refers to the processes and qualities that enables to produce results to meet the needs of the society by making the best use of resources at the disposal of the government. So those are the qualities of the good governance. Then is an indeterminate term used in international development literature to describe how public institutions conduct public affairs and manage public resources. Kaya nga siguro makikita natin yun, there are a lot of NGOs here in our country. Pero paano nila ginamit itong good qualities? Kaya yung iba kagaling-galing na sustain nila in helping the people, then yung the lives of the people na uplift din through their help. So they're applying this quality of governance. Then the concept of good governance is often emerges as a model to compare and replace ineffective economies or political bodies with the viable and effective economies and apolitical bodies. I think naintindihan din natin yan. Model siya. Then another, a political system in which all activities are done transparently. Okay, the transparency is there. Then political leaders at all levels are held accountable. All citizens are treated equally and fairly. The role of law is respected and the people participation actively. So, yun talaga ha, when we talk about good governance, there's accountability, transparency, equality and fairly, the rule of law. So, yun dapat. Kaya nga ngayon, may isang naakusahan, pero mangdamay pa sa iba. Okay? Bakit siya lang? That's a confidential fund. Dapat lahat na. Siya man nauna. Dapat, that's parang springboard. Naunahin mo na siya kasi kung na-politicize man, pero alam natin yun. Accountability, transparency, the role of law. Okay? Kaya nga, people's participation actively, yung mga tao, sino-sino yun sila, Grace Piatos, mga kamote, saging, etc., etc. So, yun yung titingnan natin ha. Kung pasok ba sila, swak ba sila sa good governance. Hindi na muna damay, unahin naman one step at a time. Kaya nga, nagka-problema tayo. Then, good governance means focusing on the organization's purpose and outcomes for citizens and service users. If you notice, paulit-ulit, para siguro ma-inculcate dito sa ating mind when we talk about good governance. The terms is the same in the previous slides, di ba? Then it also means developing the capacity and the capability of governing body to be effective. Then means performing effectively in a clearly defined functions and roles. Ito din yon sa good governance. Ito clearly defined functions and roles. Kaya nga tayo, in our own institution, in our own agencies, trabaho natin, meron tayong parang a description kung anong role mo sa trabahong ito. Okay, para itong good governance, mas enhance pa. Okay? Then, it means engaging stakeholders and making accountability real. Okay. Engaging stakeholders and making accountability real. So, yon ang dapat when we talk about qualities of the good governance. So, lahat natin alam yon, the good governance. Then, kung may good, of course, sabi nga, another category is also a poor or bad governance, in which tayo manunotice din natin yan. Kaya nga, sabi natin, ang ganda-ganda talaga noon, grabe. Mga presidente natin, ang galing-galing ng mga leader. Ngayon, grabe, sinisira pa natin ating commander-in-chief. Sabi ko, buti na lang, ang Ilocano, hindi negative mag-isip, tahimik lang. Okay, kung may poor governance man siya, bad governance man siya, basta trabaho lang, walang personalan. Pero alam na natin, kung poor man, so be it, then help them, help him as our leader. So, member man tayo, we are all government servant, public servant tayo. So in our own little way, itong poor governance dapat ayusin natin para ma-check. Then sabi nga, it will start from our office. Then if it is good, may mga best practices, it will radiate to maybe a larger arena to the nation in itself. Kaya nga sabi natin na mag-umpisa talaga yan sa sarili. Kaya para itong poor governance matugunan at mawala dapat. So what about these qualities of poor governance? Take note. A bad governance is being increasingly regarded in many developing countries as one of the root causes of all evils and problems within societies. Wow, root causes of all evils and all problems in our societies. Then bad governance refers to any malpractice and maladministration which may result from denial of all rights, administrative inefficiency, corruption, the rent seeking, the lack of legal protection. Then, bad governance entails problems like the wastage, both human and natural resources. Nangyayari yan sa atin. Environmental degradation and pollution. I think sinabi ko one of the examples. May mga lovers of the Mother Earth, Mother Nature, like Lopez, ayaw niya ng mining. Daming mga leaders na ayaw ng mining. Pero nagka-problema nga kasi ang ating mga politicians, sila din yung nagsisira kasi mga owner ng mining or other distraction, mga sabi nga illegal logging. Pero what about the legal logging? na ang mga politicians ang nagmamay-ari. So it's really a problem. That's a poor governance. Alam natin yun. The men and women in uniform. Okay? Kaya nga minsan, malo-moral tayo. Tama? Tama ba? Because of this poor or bad governance. O kahit na sa hanay natin, sa hanay ninyo, na mga men in uniform, may mga ganun din. Whether we like it or not. Sabi nga, there is no such thing as perfect. Pero, pwede nating ituwid. Tama ba? Okay, sige. We move on. The World Bank characterized poor or bad governance as failure to make clear separation between what is public and what is private. Hence, a tendency to rent-seeking behavior. So, yan, failure. What is public and what is private. Another thing, failure to establish a predictable framework of law and government behavior conducive to development, or arbitrariness in the application of rules of laws. So, ito talagang problema. Kaya nga ngayon, di ba? Take note on this. Sa impeachment, hindi man tayo lawyer, but based from the experts from the Constitution, lahat mga bright sa Senate. Yung 18, remember? I move, mga judge. Saan ka na nag-judge? Wala pang litis, wala pang mga ebidensya, i-dismiss na. Anong klaseng judge? Okay? Kahit na grade 1 tayo, may kaintindi man siguro tayo. Now we have the rules of law. We have the Constitution na dapat sundin. That's one, I would say, a poor governance. Part of it. Part talaga yan. Bakit ganon? Okay? Or feeling bright or inspired by the Holy Spirit ko, no? Ang idol ninyo. Okay? Ayun, yung resulta. Nagkalabo-labo. It's really a poor governance whether we like it or not. I'm not a lawyer, you are not a lawyer, but as peace educator, ibalansin nyo. Tingnan nyo the other side of the coin. Hindi lang yung puro tayo, puri. Okay? Na, two sides of the coin. The hari and patay mangyud na siya. Tama. Then the existence of executive rules, regulations, licensing requirements, which impede functioning of markets and encourage rent-seeking. Itong rent-seeking behavior talaga, problema talaga ito. Okay? Then another, sa poor governance, the existence of inconsistent with development as a result of the misuse and misallocation of resources. Alam natin ha, misuse and misallocation of resources. Kaya nga minsan, hindi na lang tayo magsalita. Okay? Isip na lang ang ating mouth. And why? O sino ka bang magsalita? Baka balikan ka. Especially dito sa ating vicinity. Diba? Tahimik na lang tayo. But in our own little way, we can make a difference. As peace advocate, peace educator, we can make a difference in our own way. Na sana, dadami tayo. Okay? Sana dadami tayo at hindi natin tularan itong poor governance. Then the existence of excessive and narrow decision making based on transparency. Kaya natin, sa pagwala yan, problema talaga. Then all the above points define the major bad qualities of governance. So alam now we know what is good and bad categories when we talk about governance. Then, what is the cause of bad governance? Alam natin yun kung tatanungin tayo. Okay? Ito yan. The bad governance leads to insecurity, high transaction cost, reduced private sector involvement, okay, corruption, conflict, inevitable resource distribution, inequitable resource distribution, social instability, erosion of ethics and standards of behaviors, unsustainable development. So, puro negative. Okay? Kahit na hindi natin explain yan isa-isa, alam na alam natin yun na nangyayari talaga yan. Okay? The poor governance leads to this na binanggit natin. Then, what are the benefits of good governance? So, ito sana dapat kagandahan. There are benefits kung okay sana yung pamamalakad ng lahat ng institusyon, lahat ng ministries, lahat ng mga department or sectors in our countries. Ito yung mga benefits of the good governance. Enhances inclusive economic growth, better conflict prevention and resolution, environment balance of interests, and is responsive to the present and future needs of society. Kaya nga, safety and security of the society. Society trust and confidence. So, ang ganda, no? Sana all makamtan natin itong mga benepisyo sa good governance. Kung tanongin niya ko, Sir, may nangyayari ba dito sa atin? Yes, meron din. Hindi natin nila lahat. Kaya nga, may poor, may bad governance. Meron din. Pero hindi perfect. But all of us, ito yung challenge sa atin na dapat gagawin natin ang nararapat. Especially with these benefits. Kasi pag okay ito lahat, sabi ko nga, sooner or later na materialize itong, sabi may source daw tayo ng langis. Pag okay lang yung governance, makikita ko na sa Mindanao, especially in our land, the BARM, wala nang mahirap. Wala nang magnakaw, wala nang karnaper, wala nang kidnapper, wala na lahat. Anway, lahat happy. Na-develop lahat. Kahit na wala kang pinag-aralan, patrabahuin ka, swelduhan ka. Kung ma-mobilize. Pag hindi, balik siguro tayo sa bad governance. Pero pag good governance, ito yung mga benepisyo na makakamtan natin bilang mga constituents, bilang citizen of this country. Sabi ko nga, pag ma-mobilize yan, mapapawaw yung Luzon at saka Visayas. Okay pala ang Mindanao. O baka tayo niyang maglilid. Or the seat of the Philippine government baka lilipat dito sa Mindanao kung ganon mangyayari. Kung okay ang pamamalakad para makabenepisyo lahat. Tama ba? Okay, go. What would be the possible solution to improve the quality of governance? So, meron ding mga solution, of course. To solve these problems, traditional bureaucratic management was replaced by the new public management. Another concept, the new public management, the NPM. Okay? Sa mga major sa public administration, alam na alam dito, pero tayong PIS, dapat alam din natin ito, na pwede naman palaga to solve the issue of this poor governance, itong mga traditional bureaucratic management, mga traditional politician natin, when we talk about politics, ating mga leaders, okay, we have to replace now to the new public management, the NPM, with the goals of squeezing the size of the government, privatizing government enterprise. Kaya ngayon yung privatization parang sinisimula naman din, no? Kasi alaman natin pag private talagang okay yung governance nila. Kaya lahat na kinabang, lahat happy. Kaya nga meron din tayo ngayon the private public partnership. Kasi okay talaga yung kalalabasan. At least alam natin, we know the good and the bad governance. Then, introducing competitions where it is possible. Okay naman. Then, good leadership kailangan. Good leadership and governance are twin concepts. So, parang, this should go hand in hand. Good governance, good leadership, okay yun. Okay? So, that's part of the new public management. But the new public management had both negative and positive output. So, mayroon yung positive, negative. Pero sana, with this new public management, lahat happy, lahat makinabang. Then, what could be the negative outputs of the new public management? Meron ding negative. Okay? The new public management, in its definition, the negative output, take note, public institution became more commercialized. Ayun din yun. Nagdudulot. Yung privatization, Pag ma-commercialize na rin, that will be a negative thing. Pero that's also a challenge, especially to the public institution, na ayusin yung governance. Okay? Kasi ito may negative effect man din, output, na became more commercialized na. Then many people suffered from cutting off the social programs. Another problem. Then the bureaucrats kept their rent seeking. Dito na lang ako, ganito kasi maganda dito. Okay. Kung saan yung maganda, doon sila. Especially yung mga leader, the bureaucrats. Then there created corruption practices. Yan, papasok din. Kahit na new public management, yon may negative pa rin nangyayari. The NGOs were not real partners. Bakit kaya? Nagiging negative, the NGOs is not real partners. Baka ang NGO na makikita naman din natin dito, parang for the sake lang nakatulong, walang sustainability. Napansin niyo yon? Dami-daming NGO, kaya nga masaya sila pag may gera, man-made calamities, natural calamities. But hindi ko nila lahat ha. May mga NGOs talaga na uplifting the lives of the people, sustaining na maganda yung buhay ng mga tao. May mga proven and tested na. Pero yung iba, makikita din natin. Kaya nga ito yung negative output of the new public management. Itong NGO, they are not anymore real partners. Kanya-kanya na lang. Kaya nga, napansin niyo pag may natural calamities, kadami, magdasok ang mga NGOs. Lalong-lalo na pag man-made calamities, may gira, maraming displaced families, kadami-dami nila. At the end, ayuda lang ang binigay, walang sustainability. Kaya nga wala yung tinatawag na sustainable development. Kung parang one-shot deal ang tulong. Alam ninyo yan. Kaya alam natin din yun. Kaya nga yung sustainable development wala, di ba? Alaman natin the UN definition of sustainable development, meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. So, yun yung mga negative output mangyayari pag itong malaking tulong sana sa mga NGO pero hindi sila real partner. So, malinaw. Then, what could be the positive output? So, may positive, may negative, kahit na yung categories, the good and bad, kahit na pinalitan new public management, pero may negative, positive pa rin ha. And do not be surprised. Kasi that's the cycle of when we talk about governance. Kahit na may nireplace na yung old bureaucrats, pero may new, pero may negative and positive pa rin. Okay? The positive outputs of the new public management, okay, government institutions became more efficient at the beginning. Ayun yung problema, at the beginning lang. Hindi nasusustain. Pero that's positive. Wow, ang ganda. Kaya nga sa ating mga Pinoy, maroon tayong tinatawag na ningaskugon. Ningaskugon. Tama? Then companies got more space for market adjustment. That's positive output. Then large part of public services have been delivered by private companies. So once again, large part of public services have been delivered by private companies. So maganda din ito. Kasi hindi din nabibehind. Especially itong public services. Kasi may tulong man sa private companies. Silang nagdi-deliver. Then the government management became more professional. Wow. The government management became more professional. This is a positive output of the new public management. At least nare-replace. Kaya nga sabi, itong issue, especially we talk about our leaders, yung the dynasty, na wala talagang mag-dare na gawin ng batas yung anti-dynasty na kung mayroon man, pero ang problema, hindi talaga epektibo. Kasi parang nagiging part na sa buhay sa mga Pinoy. Halimbawa, from mayor, tatay. Mawala si tatay, nandoon si nanay, nandoon siya. Hanggang sa kaupo-apuhan, sila na lang lahat. Paano na yung iba? Wala ng chance. So, iyan yung titingnan din. Kaya nga, if you want the new public management, ang mga ulitin ko, the government will become more professional. Kaya nga, yung mga trapo, papalitan na. Ito sanang dynasty, ayusin na sana ito na wala para mabago naman. Sa Senado ngayon, napansin nyo, puro Estrada, puro Cayetano, puro Tulfo, and the rest. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na wala silang nagawa. May mga artista na wala din mga pulos. That's the point there. Saan na yung became more professional kung new public management? Kaninong kasalanan? Sa mga tao. Okay? Kasi binoto man natin na unsay di man mo gamit mga utok. Nakuha. Yung utok 101, dibutang sa lubot. Masakit man ito, pero problema talaga. Although may positive outputs new public management, pero ang leaders ba? Dapat totally palitan na rin. I think malinaw yun. Alam mo yun, naintindihan yung pinupunto ko. Mga book. Okay? Then, the qualities of good governance, my general impressions. Market-driven changes contributed for more efficiency, but created dissatisfaction for many social groups and public at large. Yan din yun. Mga impression sa mga tao. Okay? The main lesson with the qualities of the governance is the gap between the governments and the citizens became wider. People were not satisfied from the management of their governments. Then as a result, the market and the private companies failed to meet public objectives. So ito yung the lesson na makikuha natin to the good and to the bad governance. But ulitin ko dapat focus tayo, challenge natin lahat ang mga benefits, especially to the good governance. Okay, so we move on. In searching the more adequate government, there came the need of rethinking the old questions such as what government should do, how government should do, and for whom government should do. So yung mga kasagutan na yan, kaya nga nakasalalay, nakadepende din yan sa, sabi natin, leadership, the persons behind the scene when we talk about governance or good governance. Okay? Then the debate was not for a large or small state, but for the bad or good management of governance. Then it is obvious that the good government requires elements of good governance, which aims to reach efficiency, sustainable growth, and better satisfaction of the citizens. Good governance combines the short and medium-term policy. Then when we talk about short-term, more cares of investment for solving the current needs of societies like job, education, and health. That's for short-term. Then for medium-term, coping with common society major challenges such as the lack of resources, aging population, the climate change, the quality of life, the intensive migration, and so on. So, yan yung titingnan din. Then, the good governance as a process or instrument can adjust the development of a country towards the changing world. Okay? Mag-adjust tayo dyan. The dynamic of technological advancement or advance, openness to market, global competition, higher citizens' expectations for better life. Kaya nga minsan may mga study. Sa year na ito, sa presidency na ganito, tumaas ang na-flip yung buhay kasi ang kunti na lang walang trabaho, ito yung percentage. Then after studies naman, bumaba naman. Yun yung problema talaga. Okay? Then what are the major principles of good governance? Take note. So ito na yon, 2, 4, 6, 8. The principles of the good governance. So ano-ano ito sila? Yan. Participation, rule of law, transparency, responsiveness, consensus-oriented, quality and inclusiveness, effectiveness and efficiency, accountability, then may dinagdag na the strategic vision sa UNDP na pwede ring magamit. But, we move on. In the principles, ito, why good governance preached over the last decades but not improved significantly in our country? Kung kayo yung tatanungin, siguro bottom line, babalik sa ating mga leaders. Okay? Babalik sa mga leaders natin. What could be the possible solution to improve the good governance significantly in our country? So basing from the previous slide, alam natin the good and the bad, the benefits of good and the bad, the new public management, pwede natin yung magamit. Okay? The possible solution to improve the good governance significantly in our country. Then, does the principles good governance competing or complementing with each other? Why? Nagko-compete ba? Nag-complement ba with each other? Dapat mag-complement yan. Hindi magko-compete para sa kaayuhan sa tanan. Now, the first principle is participatory. Participation refers to the right of anyone who can be affected by or interested in initiating policies, programs, ideas, options, preparing plans, implementing policies, plans, taking measures, making decisions, reviewing an action that might affect me, and having a voice and choice. So, dapat yung participatory is very, very important. Kung may mga project, dapat ipaalam din sa mga tao. Pero, what happened now, halimbawa dito sa atin, mabigla ka lang, uy, pasalamat ka lang. Kumbaga, parang magpasalamat ka na lang na sinemento yung kalsada mo o daanan mo or binigyan ka ng solar right. But you do not know kung ano yan. Pero kung pinaalam yan, maganda. Magtayo kami ngayon dito, ganito para sa inyo, galing ito sa tax ninyo. Then the problem now, anong nangyari? Ginagawa tayong parang wala lang. Okay? Hindi natin alam. We don't participate in any activities. So, ang principle of good governance, nawawala. Kasi ulitin ko, because of the leader. Then participation can be carried out in a several ways, such as by organizing the local communities, different mass association, professional association, business communities, academic communities for the different purposes and agenda. Then participation can be direct by the actors themselves or indirect through a legitimate representative. So, okay lang sana kung na-inform, kung nag-participate ang mga tao. Hindi lang mag-project ka doon, mabigla lang mga tao. Then, para bang ang dating, may utang na loob tuloy ang mga tao sa iyo kung ikaw yung leader. That's bad. Okay? Kaya nga, there are times, kahit na sa aming lugar, kapag may mga ayuda, papuntahin ka talaga, pasainan ka doon. Sabi ko, tax ko man ito. Sabi ko, sana na lang, wala kang trabaho. Kaya may trabaho, ang walang trabaho, binibigyan ayuda. Minsan kung may trabaho ko, pinipili, wag ka, kaya may trabaho ka. Sana, walang trabaho. Yun, kita nyo. Walang, mabigla ka na lang nga. Wala, hindi ka nag-participate, hindi pinaalam. Punta ka na lang doon. Okay? If the government at any level is participatory din, then there is a good governance. Kung meron. Sana all meron. Okay? Participation when? Kailan? Participation refers to the actual involvement or engagement of society starting from the initiation throughout the process and the outcome of many development. And then participation in what way? Sabi ko nga, kahit na i-assembly mo yung tao, i-seminar mo sila, ito yung mangyayari sa ating katiling banha. At least, from the start, alam nila, kailangan namin na ma-mobilize, kailangan namin ng mga workers. Wow, di ba? Happy pag na-involve sila? So, sana, yun yung dapat tingnan. Then, second principle, accountability. Alam natin ito. Stems from the Latin word accomptare, which means to account, from the prefix form of computare, or to calculate. Therefore, accountability is the fundamental requirement of good governance. So, everything, especially money matters, decision making, kung may problema dyan, a leader should be accountable. Okay? So, yun yung tandaan natin. Kaya nga, who is accountable of this impeachment? Saan na yung pera? Bakit napiyunta ka kay Piatos? So, nalalaman na lang natin yun kasi may nagrereklamo. Tapos pag nagreklamo ka, parang sino ka, pareho kayong corrupt, dapat imbestigahan ka din. At least ngayon, umpisahan natin ngayon, then susunod na yung iba. Kasi yun yung problema, walang participation, walang accountability. So that's the point there. Then in governance, accountability has expanded beyond the basic definition of being answerable to one's action. Okay? Take note, being answerable to one's action. Kaya nga accountable of everything. Kaya nga tayong lahat mga leader, kayong mga matataas, mga buko, matataas sa rangko, grabing accountability natin. Ako as head of the institute, one of the head of the institute, I'm accountable. Okay? I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm trying na para naman maganda naman yung daloy at saka itong good governance at sa mga principles ma-apply natin. Then, accountability in governance is frequently described as an account-giving relationship between individuals. Account-giving relationship between individuals. For instance, if A is accountable to B, then A is obliged to inform B about A's action and decision, which may include justification, may result punishment in the case of eventual misconduct. So, kaya nga, ipaalam. Okay? Kung sino talaga ang mananagot. Sinong accountable. Then, there are scholars like Jabra who list the number of the types of accountability. Una, moral. Kaya nga ito na yun. Siguro galing yan sa scholar galing kay Jabra yun. Isinusulong natin sa BARM ang good, moral governance. Instead of good governance, moral governance. Parang mas higher. Okay? So galing yan sa isang scholar. Itong types of accountability. Moral, administrative, political, managerial, judicial, and professional. So that's the types of accountability according to Jabra. Then leadership accountability cross-cuts many of these distinction. Okay, when I talk about leadership accountability. Then political. Another principle, political accountability is the accountability of the government, civil servants, and politicians to the public and to legislative bodies such as Congress or a parliament. Alam na natin yan. I think nasabi na rin natin. Kaya nga, pag-aralan, anong nangyayari ngayon sa Pilipinas? Anong nangyayari sa ating vicinity sa BARM? When we talk about political accountability. Minsan masabi mo, parang laro man talaga ito. Pinaglaruan tayo. Kung i-weigh natin, kung nag-iisip din tayo, then citizens can put any elected officials under accountable by using recall elections when they feel they do not protect their interests. In case of the appointment, a legislative representing the people at large may have the power to impeach individual officials, remove individual officials, suspend them from the office of the period of time, resign individual officials before his or her term. Pero dito sa atin, wala man, paugat man tayo. Pero in the other countries, pag nagkasala, mag-resign agad yan. Okay? Kung may mali, mag-resign agad yan mga politician. Pero sa atin, paugat tayo. Nagsaligta, dami tayo mga suporta, kahit ang mangyari, mananalo pa rin tayo. Pag sure, hindi kasi nag-iisip ang mga Pinoy. That's the point there. Okay, masakit man ito, pero that's the point there. Okay? Sikat lang, iboto natin. Anong nagawa? Okay? Kasi mayaman, sikat, aktor. Dami aktor ngayon sa Senado. So, what happened? Babalik pa rin sa atin. Yun bang gusto natin, a kind of leader, a political leader? Okay? Mingita pag-away. Impeach, mbot lang. Kung matuloy, sana matuloy para makita. Kung sila ang kasalanan, well, you'll be acquitted with that accusation. Sampal din yun sa nagkaso. Diba? Okay, so ito maganda ito. Resign individual officials before his term. Ang mag-resign na lang kung may kasalanan ka. Kasi dapat kang tularan. Ulitin ko, sa ibang country, sila, even the president na magre-resign yan kapag kita niya na talagang may kasalanan siya. Dito lang sa atin magpaugat. Okay? Kasi alam na may mga diehard na mga Pinoy na magpakamatay alang-alang sa kanilang leader. So that's the problem here in our country. Then another one is administrative. The internal rules and norms, as well as some independent commissions, are mechanisms to hold civil servants within the administration of the government accountable within the department or the ministry. Firstly, by the behavior is bound to rules of regulation. Then secondly, civil servants are subcoordinates in the hierarchy and accountable to superior. So yun, that's under administrative. Then the third is principle is transparency. Being transparent. People should be able to follow, understand the decision-making process. Sabi ko kanina, hindi lang ilagay mo dyan, hindi alam ng mga tao, kaya parang magpasalamat ka kasi binigyan ka ng proyekto, binigyan ka ng ayuda. Mali yun, dapat transparent. Okay, ito si Piatos, okay ka, ikaw si Kamote, saan man sila? Saan ang transparency? Okay, being transparent. So this means that they will be able to clearly see how and why a decision was made, what information, advice, and consultation council considered, and which legislative requirements, when relevant, council followed. Okay? Sana lahat ganon. Then transparency, may mga numerous benefits din. Kaya nga, transparency for accountability, the public has the right to hold the government and public officials to account for how they act and for the decision they take. To do this, information is needed. The role of the media is particularly important here because journalists play the role of the public watchdogs, something which they have the right to do as confirmed repeatedly by the European Court of Human Rights. Yan yung problema natin. Using social media, binabayaran. Remember the bloggers na talagang sinisira nila ang ating Commander-in-Chief ngayon? Ganito bangag-bangag, lahat-lahat ng paninira below the belt. Nung pinatawag, iyak-iyak. Buti ngayon, medyo tumahimik na yung iba. Sabi ko sana yung nag-vlog against na wala namang ebidensya, dapat they are accountable. Okay, hindi lang pataka, dadak, daldal ng daldal, sira ng sila below the belt. Okay, so yan ha. So hindi tayo galit, but as peace educator, ibalanse natin. Kaya nga the journalist sabi play the role of public watchdogs, pero hindi din abusuhin. Kaya nga sabi nga ni Enriquez, si Mike Enriquez na walang kinikilingan. Dapat wala kang kinikilingan. Okay? Hindi ka mababayaran bilang journalist when you talk about transparency for accountability. Okay? Then another, transparency for participation. If a democracy, it is essential that people can access a wide range of information in order to participate in a real and effective way in matters that affect them. This means that not just participating in elections, but also participating in public debates and decision-making between elections. And in order to participate in a meaningful way, we need information. Ayan, kailangan talaga. Information is very, very important. Okay? Another is transparency for efficiency. Responding to the request for the information also has the benefit of encouraging public institutions to organize their information. In particular, proactive disclosure of information encourages better information management. This in turn should result better, more fact-based decision-making inside each institution, as well as more effective communication between the public bodies. Then number 4, the role of law. The fourth principle na tayo ha. Fourth principle, the role of law. This means that the decisions are consistent with the relevant legislation or the common law and are with the powers of the councils. In the case, there's a case in the other countries, the Victorian local government. Dito naman sa ating local government, relevant to includes the Local Government Act. Tayo mayroon din tayong sarili. The other such as the Public Health, mayroon din tayo, and Well-being. The Equal Opportunity Act, mayroon din tayo dyan in our own version. Okay? So dapat sundin yun kung anong sinasabi ng batas. Number 5 is governance. 5 principle is responsive. A democratic government should always try to serve the needs of the entire community while balancing competing interests in a timely, appropriate, and responsive manner. So, dapat responsive. That's one thing. Qualities. The next is good governance is equitable and inclusive. Equitable and inclusive. What does it mean? Number 6, principles of good governance. A community's well-being results from all of its members feeling their interests have been considered by council in the decision-making process. This means that all groups, particularly the most vulnerable, especially the poor, should have opportunities to participate in the process. Kaya nga inclusive lahat. Hindi lang mayaman, hindi lang mahirap, lahat. Inclusive. Sali lahat. Equal. Okay? Then 7 is effective and efficient. 7 principles of the governance. A democratic government should implement decisions and power processes that make the best use of available people, resources, and time to ensure the best possible results of their community, being effective and efficient. The next is the consensus-oriented. Good governance allows to mediate different interests in the society to reach the broad consensus on which it is the best interest of the whole community and how this can be achieved. Then good governance also helps to have long-term perspectives on what is needed for sustainable human development, how to achieve such development. This can only result from understanding of historical, cultural, and social context of the society. So, yun yung sinasabi nating consensus-oriented. Dapat, as leader, alam din natin kung ano, sino yon, anong nangyayari sa ating kapaligiran, sino yung mga tao when we talk about the historical, cultural, as well as the social context in our society. So, good governance from the concept to practice, how, paano? You know that one. As we have discussed in the previous slide. Kung paano. Then, good governance from concept to practice, we need graduates from the concept to practice and secure good governance in order to steer ourselves to have no alternative but to think and act differently. Kaya nga sinasabi, we can make a difference. You can make a difference. A single drop of water, punta yan sa ocean, malaking tulong yan. Kaya nga, yun yung hamon sa ating lahat, mga sirs and mga moms. Okay? Einstein Albert said, in effect, that the problems created by our current pattern of thought cannot be solved by our current pattern of thought. So we have to think and act differently. This is the only way out. Ayun, isip. Kaya nga, ulitin ko, we can make a difference. So, nasa sa atin yung mga kamay kung papaano. Then, from concept to practice, concepts or principles of good governance can become practice. Set up legal rules, compulsory enforcement for all government actions, which is centralized. Then, launch innovations, describe good practices, and disseminate among others, which is decentralized approach. So, parang from concept, ma-practice talaga. Then, both options are workable. Depends from the national culture and politicians and bureaucrats as well as the NGOs. Development recommended way, start with voluntary approach and create a legal base for all. Kagaya itong internet site natin na malaking tulong din sa ating institusyon. Then, international dimensions, learn the best practices from the advanced country. UK, USA, Denmark, Estonia, and the other countries na meron na silang good governance na pwede nating tularan. Okay? Then the key factors for success, the political decisiveness for changes which requires educated and intelligent politicians. Take nota, political decisiveness for changes which requires educated and intelligent politicians. So sino-sino yung politicians kaya nagka-problema din ang ating mga leaders ngayon kasi all are qualified kaya nakasulat doon sa one of the requirements magpresidente kahit na grade 1 ka o kahit na wala ka basta able to read and write lang ang requirements. Pero sabi dito, key factors of success dapat political decisiveness for changes which requires educated and intelligent individuals or politicians. Then professionals and not politically motivated, manipulated administration. Then dialogue and consultation with society, business organizations, several societies, and the NGOs para talagang mag-success itong concept to practice. Then active role of other stakeholders such as the voters, political parties, in oppositions, NGOs, pressure of civil society members. So with that, thank you very much. I hope you learned something. Then just review this lecture. Of course, maraming lalabas dito for your final examination. So God bless everyone, mga bok, mga sirs and moms. I hope you learned something. Dalaygon ang Diyos. This is your friend, Brother Joars Alferez of the Order of the Discalced Carmelite Secular. Dalaygon ang Diyos.